there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have a sort of gift project for you. This is one of our acetate boxes that fits lots of cards, and it's the size for the standard size card, so A6 in countries where we use A4 paper, or the US equivalent, which I know your paper is 8.5 by 11. So it's whichever territory you're in, you will get the right size box for that standard size card. So I have made 5 of these cards so far. 6 is going to be a wee bit of a squeeze to get into the box, but I think with a bit of topping and tailing we can do it. So I'm using the Share What You Love Gotta Have It All bundle. I've already done some projects with the Just Starting Out bundle. I will do some with the a little bit more bundle, but at the moment I'm doing some more with this wonderful designer series paper because it is gorgeous, and I just can't get enough of it, to the extent that I've ordered another bundle just to get the more paper, because it's such good value. You get so much free stuff that it's worth getting a second bundle, because the vast majority of what's in there is stuff that you can either hand on to somebody else or is a consumable. So why wouldn't you? So she says, trying to get her excitement under control. Let's start with the box. I have embossed the box. I don't know how well you can, there we are. Velux windows have a use. They have a lot of uses, but they have a use. So I've embossed this with the lovely embossing folder, which if I look hard enough I will find the name. It is the lovely floral Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folder. So this you use with just the standard standard platform and one cutting plate. This is so thick that it acts as a cutting plate. And all I did was making sure that I had the lumpy side up. I just slipped it with the box flat, obviously, slipped it into the embossing folder, into the box, and ran that through my Big Shot. It's quite stiff. You don't have to force it. I absolutely didn't have to force it. When it came out the other side, it did go with a bit of a kadonk, but that's as much as anything because this is a really thick embossing folder. But it embosses it beautifully, as you can see, and it just adds that extra something to the box. So, really quick project. I'm starting with a piece of A4 cardstock that I've cut in half and scored down the middle to make the standard size base. I have a piece of the lovely pearlescent, look at that, isn't that gorgeous, pearlescent designer series paper. This is because it's the 30th anniversary of Stampin Up, and as we know, pearl is for 30. So this is cut at my usual first size mat, which is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, 14 1/4, that's inches, 14 1/4 by 9 3/4 centimetres, dimensions in the blog post, which is linked below. So that's that. Then this is the reverse of it, and I've cut at the same dimension, so 3 7/8, then 1.5 inches, which would be about 3.5 4 centimetres. Yeah, gosh, that was a good guess, about 3 3/4 centimetres. And I'm just using the reverse of that as the strip that's going across the middle. I've then punched, using the Starburst punch, a piece of Very Vanilla, because you get that cardstock in the pack, in the bundle. And then I've got one of these lovely pearlescent doilies. And again, can you see that pearl? Yay! Lovely, pretty, pretty. I'm using 2 stamps. I'm using It's a Beautiful Day from the Love What You Do stamp set, which you get in all of the bundles, and I'm using this little floral from the Make a Difference stamp set. I think that one's kind of hidden because we see all this as being words, but there is a little floral there and there's a little leaf there. So, and there's a bit of a hoojum or whatnot. There's a word for that and I can't remember it. It's not cartouche, but that sort of thing. So it's not just words, is really what I'm saying. So I'm using those two, and I'm using the Grapefruit Grove ink pad because it comes in the bundles. So all I'm going to do, I need a scrap of paper. That's a real scrap of paper. I need something that's not quite as scrappy. Oh, the back of the retiring list will do. Yep, back of the retiring list will do nicely. Okay, so this bit is, I don't need the scrap for, but the rest I do. So I'm just inking up the It's a Beautiful Day and stamping that straight down. It fits really quite easily. Just be slightly aware of where your edges are, but it's a good fit. And of course, because you've already punched it out, there is no right or wrong. You don't have to get it straight because it's a circle. And then the floral, again, I'm just inking up in the same Grapefruit Grove. I'm just tucking it in to this little area here. And it does go off the edge, which is why I needed the scrap paper. And then at the top, again, I'm just tucking it in so that it goes into some of the spaces that are there. And that is it. That's all I need that for. And pop that back on my pile of lovely new in colours. So look, in colours. So there's the Old Olive, which you get in the Just Starting Out bundle. And then I've got all of the in colours because they're gorgeous. Because I'm a demonstrator, I did actually manage to buy the 4 separate in colours separately. Or the 4 other, because this is an in colour. These 4 I bought separately, but you can get them in early release as a bundle, and if you buy them as a bundle of the 5, you get 10% off, which is great. So if you want them, yay! And if you do get the bundle of, any of the bundles of Love What You, Share What You Love, brain not working, then you will get the Grapefruit Grove in all of them, and you'll get the Old Olive in the small bundle. But you can always gift this to somebody else because they would be very pleased to get that, I am sure. So all we've got to do now is put this together very quickly and then we're done. I'm using Fast Fuse because it is still available and I've got some to use up. So why wouldn't I use it? Because come the 1st of June, I will not be able to use it anymore because it's no longer going to be available. So if you like Fast Fuse, you know what to do. Get it while you can. Stock up. So I'm putting quite a bit of Fast Fuse on the back, only because some of it will stick to the doily and some of it will go through. I will then add a bit more to the back, but it just helps with the whole sticking down process. Pop that onto our card. And then I'm going to pop Fast Fuse on my card. I find it easier, don't know why, but I find it easier to put my Fast Fuse on my card and then put the panel onto it. I just find it an easier way of lining things up. I think because there's a bit more wiggle room, I tend to get a better result that way. Let's pop the stamps that I need to clean up there. Then somewhere, I've now buried, there they are, the Artisan Pearls, which also come in, do they come in both of the bigger kits? Grabbing leaflet. Yes, they do. So if you get the A Little More Please bundle, or the Gotta Have It All bundle, you get the Artisan Pearls, and they are so pretty. They're really these teeny little pearls, and they come in all the colours that are in the papers. I say all the colours. The colours that are here are in the papers. There aren't Old Olive, for example. So I am going to pick out, I think I'll take the So Saffron because that will go quite nicely with the Old Olive. So I'm just popping one in the middle of each of the little florals and then one just at the end here. That is our card made. So then all we've got to do is pop our envelope in. Now you can obviously stamp on the inside. I'm using it as a blank for your special message card because I will actually be gifting these. All I'm then going to do is top and tail. So I'm going to pivot because that way the lump is here. And if I top and tail, then the lump will be spread out. That's, if that makes sense. Well, even if it doesn't make sense, that's what I'm doing. they will just sit flatter. Now, it's probably easiest, she says, having put all of those together, to pop one in first, because that way you can have that at the bottom, which is where the bit that tacks in is. I'm trying so hard not to I understand that one or two people find it a little irritating. I will try to be more precise, but as I do in my daily life, it's slightly difficult not. But I will try. I will do my best. But my brain works that way, so it's a little tricky for me. Now, I'm deliberately having the envelope underneath the embossed image because otherwise it would look a bit fussy if you had a pattern paper there. But there we are. As you see, you can get 6. They're not hugely embellished, so they are basically flat. If you were using dimensionals, then obviously you'd probably only get 4 cards in there. But as a nice little present, I think it's a great, instead of taking a bunch of flowers or something like that to a party for your hostess, you could take these. You know, we all take things when we're going to dinner parties. We take boxes of chocolates and flowers and bottle of wine and those sort of things. Why not take a really lovely handmade gift, emboss the box, and I think it's beautiful. And it's a beautiful day because you know what? Today, I'm filming this on Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, and it's a beautiful day. Apparently it's going to be the hottest bank holiday early May bank holiday we have had since records began. It should be said we only started having the early May bank holiday fairly recently, so that's not a huge time frame to put that in, but there we go. 2 clean stamps, beautiful box, and don't forget all of this lovely goodness. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Remember, if you shop with me during May, then for every £25 you spend and use the hostess code. I've had people shop and not use the hostess code, and you're missing out on 2 things. A, you're missing out on going into the draw for my amazing prize, which I'll come to, but B, if you don't use the hostess code, you don't get a share in the hostess rewards, which is a shame because I send out lovely hostess rewards to everyone. You'll still get your thank you card and your thank you gift, but if you don't use the hostess code, you won't get a share in the hostess rewards because you haven't helped earn them. So my prize draw for May is for every £25 you spend in May, and if you put in 2 orders, I'll add them together so that you maximise the amount of entries you get. I won't try and do the maths because last time I did that I got it wrong. No, I will. I'll do the maths. So £25 in one order and no, £30 in one order and £45 in another order would get you 2 entries. But if I add them together, it gets you 3 because it's £75 in total. So I will add them together. The prize is a colour caddy with all of the core colour families that are now retiring, but most of those colours are carrying over to the new catalogue. So it's a really great prize. It's worth over £200. The colour caddy is no longer available, it's sold out. You can put these new style ink pads in the colour caddy. They're not a perfect fit, but they fit fine. So over £200 of prize, and all you need to do is shop with me during May and use the hostess code. So hop over to my online store, fill your basket. It can be with anything. It can be with retiring product, it can be with the bundles, it can be anything. Just fill that basket and get your orders in, and then you get your entries to the draw. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you do not already subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do hit the subscribe button. I've now got over 3,500 subscribers, which is amazing. Cannot believe it. So a few more would be lovely. You would be very welcome, and it would be great to have you on board. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!